A woman finds a cheap vase in a thrift store, and it turns out it's priceless. And she does something very nice with it. Charlie and Mike and Jonathan and you on your morning team on WSGW. On the morning team page, we do have a link up to a news story that was actually produced. You go to WSGW.com, scroll down, find the red section which highlights shows. Look for the morning team circle, click on that, look for today's date. It is June 19th, 2024, so you can actually see the vase and get more of an idea of what's going on here. So at a thrift store, she buys the vase, this woman, for $3.99. And she was visiting Mexico on a work trip. She noticed some items on display at the Museum of Anthropology. And she says, these items, they looked a lot like the vase that I had purchased, again, in a thrift store for $3.99. She speaks with a museum official who recommends she contact the Mexican embassy when she returns home. She does. She shares photos and information, and it turns out that the vase was identified as an artifact dating from AD 200 to 800.
Oh, wow.
Purchased in a thrift store for $3.99. What kind of price tag do you think is on that?
Imagine the reverse of that, where you go to the museum and you see stuff. Hey, I've got that on my end table. I wonder if it's worth something. And you find out that, no, the museum's just showing off a useless piece of junk.
Get your hopes up.
There was a documentary made several years ago called "Who the Bleep Is Jackson Pollock." I don't know if you ever heard about this. A woman bought a painting for like $5 at a garage sale, and Jackson Pollock was famous for doing like splatter patterns on canvas. Just different colored dots and splashes. And come to find out that went through this huge controversy. Is this a real Jackson Pollock or not? Come to find out that she bought a Jackson Pollock painting worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars for $5 at a garage sale.
Wow.
I mean, they had art forensic experts in and art museum experts, and some people say, no, there's no way this could be a Jackson Pollock, and other people are like, well, this is very, very similar to his process, and there was layers of paint underneath indicating that it was probably his work as well. And
what did she end up doing with it? Did she
I don't
cash
know.
it in, or do we know?
I don't know. It's been quite some time since the documentary aired, and I never really followed up on the story, but I do believe they authenticated the provenance of the painting.
Well, in this case, the woman did not cash it in because it turns out that she is a person that deals with this type of stuff in her work. And so she returned the vase to the Mexican ambassador, and they held a ceremony to have it returned to its rightful place, she said, where it belonged. So, she could have a chance to maybe make huge money off of it, but she did not. She said she was petrified when she found out what it really was, because she says, I have 3 little boys at home, and it was just sitting on a shelf. She said, I did not want to be the one that had possession of an artifact they wrecked because I had it sitting on a shelf at home.
And of course it would be the 30 minutes between finding out what it was and getting home to get it secured that something would happen. You're driving home, white knuckle all the way. Don't play around the vase.